Welcome back, family, to the Back Issue Book Club from Team Ohana. I'm Greg. That's Rich.
Yes.
Rich, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing quite all right, thank you. This week we tackled Daredevil Born Again, which was issues 227 through 331, I believe.
231.
Sorry, yes. That would have been a really long...
Yeah. We only had 1 week to read them all. It was a 5-issue series, not 105 issues. That was scary.
Yes. And I was happy to get some solid Daredevil under my reading belt. I haven't really... I mean, I've read the recent Chip Zdarsky run, which is really good. But yeah, other than that, this is my first classic Daredevil. What about you?
I used to read Daredevil back in the Frank Miller era when they had, Electro, Bullseye, stuff like that. But I was never a tremendous Daredevil fan. I mean, I knew of him. I knew all the characters and everything. But he was not when I was a kid, he was not like my go-to book. If I saw a really cool cover, I'd pick it up. But for the most part, it was like Daredevil, Fantastic Four, no, Spider-Man, yay, X-Men, yay.
Yeah, I wonder did people at the time, as far as you know, view Daredevil as like Diet Spider-Man, basically, or like the poor man's Spider-Man?
Yeah, kind of. That's a pretty good way of putting it. He had no superpowers other than the fact that his senses were heightened, so he had normal strength. He was definitely your absolute street level fighter. Mm-hmm. Where everybody said, they considered Spider-Man to be a street level fighter, but at the same time, he would then take on some of the big baddies.
Sure, yeah. It would be hard for Daredevil to fight like Electro or something,
or Abomination, or
really.
What do you call it, Juggernaut?
Right. Yeah,
so.
I wonder if maybe that was why you were like, whatever about it back in the day. But I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of this was covered in the show. I didn't know that this was pulled from the show, pulled from this arc here.
Which arc are we talking about?
Just
which show? The one that the Netflix series?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually don't know of anything, and I've seen the Netflix series twice, and I can't put. What are you talking about? Can you give me examples? I'm sorry to put you on the seat. Or on the spotlight there.
No,
the hot seat. It's just I don't know. I can't think of anything in the 5 books that maybe even think about.
Well, okay, so here, for example, there's that whole part about Matt Murdock getting like messed up and then ending up in the church basement, and he's like, are you my mother?
Yep. Okay, I got that.
That was the big one, I think, for me.
That was season 3 of the Netflix, and that did kind of have a Born Again feel to it because he was assumed to be dead by everybody at the end of Defenders.
Yes, because everything toppled or whatever into the water.
Yeah. Okay, no, I get that now, yeah.
That was the biggest one I could think of off the top of my head.
I really think that this is a storyline that's minus Karen Page could really be adapted into the Born Again series. Total destruction of Matt Murdock's secret, his private life and everything by Kingpin. Because Kingpin does know, as per Netflix series, which is now canon, that Daredevil is Matt Murdock.
Yes.
So he doesn't need Karen Page on a drug binge to give it up. In more ways than one.
Yeah, that characterization of Karen Page, I guess she was doing like adult videos in Mexico.
I think that she got into regular movies and then Lindsay Lohan her life.
Yeah. I guess we kind of get that in maybe more of The Punisher, I guess, because we get a glimpse into her past life of drug use.
Yeah.
From her like hometown or whatever. So that was kind of similar. But I didn't know she was like a movie. Well, I didn't. It was new of her to be a movie star.
Yeah,
Based
I
on
had
what
no
we saw.
knowledge of that either. That was beyond the arc, at which point that I read it.
Yeah. How? As I was reading this, I was like, first of all, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. But I definitely could tell it was Frank Miller, and I was comparing it to Wolverine the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, did you do that as well?
Mm-hmm. I did. I did.
We got again the at the beginning of each issue, you know, some toxic sludge hit me, and next thing I knew, I could have sonar.
Yeah, but it was less pronounced than in the Wolverine one.
Yes.
It seemed like the Wolverine explanation would go on for like panel after panel after panel.
Yeah. Yeah, we take a whole page where this would take a panel or two.
Yeah.
But now we know, I think Larry let us in that Stan kind of mandated that at the beginning of issues.
Okay. Because you wanted to make sure that the new readers weren't left in the dark.
Yeah. Because not everybody's Matt Murdock. You can't see in the dark.
Yeah, but you know what? It's kind of like when you watch videos now on YouTube, and they're like, if you want to just skip ahead, go to timestamp 218. They should have done that in the books back then. If you know this already, turn the page.
Yeah.
Or a little, like pull out.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe like the back inside of the back cover or something, but I guess you wanted all the real estate you could get for advertising. So anyway, yeah, I definitely could tell it was Frank Miller's style. He's got like a very like film noir style almost.
Yes, he does. It's
internal monologues.
Sin City.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but this storyline, reading this was the way I remembered Wolverine to be, which it wasn't, but this storyline was.
This was good. I liked it.
This was not good. This was great.
You got me for a second.
I'm trying so hard to keep a straight face and not divulge how I felt about this, but you read it first. You read it before I did. I read it today.
Yeah, I read it like, I don't know, 3 days maybe after we finished our last one, and I read the whole thing because I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, and that's what you told me, is that you, once you started reading it, you could not stop until you finished all 5 issues.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there on the couch today reading these 5 issues, and the only words that I'm vocalizing out loud are, holy shit, he wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
Damn. It is so well written. I loved it. I really did. And some of the simple things that were written and drawn, which really gave it, like, you can almost hear, like intense music behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, when Murdoch figures it out, he goes, "Oh, you had a great plan. You just shouldn't have signed it. Great piece of artwork. You just shouldn't have signed it." But he figured out it was Kingpin.
Yeah.
But this is just too gangster. Great piece of artwork. You just shouldn't have signed it. I'm like, oh shit! Yeah, he knows who it is. Yeah. And then he goes and gets his ass kicked by.
Oh my god, dude! I don't know if it's because I've seen Daredevil or not before, but. And, D'Onofrio's performance as Kingpin really is incredible. Like, he scares me because he, like, lives the character.
Yes, he does.
When, we were focusing on Kingpin on a panel or two, and he was, like, talking to himself about whatever it was at the moment, I was just like, I felt I felt as if I was Matt Murdock for a moment. Like getting like the world closing in on me, everything being frozen, all of my assets being held, and just getting beat up at every corner. And I was like afraid of Kingpin when I was reading this, like it was so well done.
Oh yeah. I mean, like when, Ben comes out of the office after saying, "I'm not going to do the story," and there's the guy mopping the floor. Remember?
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
I'm like, damn, he's freaking everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that was a part of the show too. That was very similar to the show when he was in his lockdown in the penthouse. He was pulling strings everywhere from there. Right. So that was also a similarity I noticed. But man, I mean, you can see by both of our faces, like, it was fantastic. It was chilling and exciting, and you couldn't put it down.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably, no offense to the prior storylines that we read, but this is probably my favorite one. Back issue book club. It grabbed me, and I'm sorry if the house was on fire. I would have been like 2 more pages, please.
I mean, this kind of makes me want to like maybe go collect those issues, just because it's like such a great story.
Well, I'm sure it took a spike in value when they announced the name of the series that's going to be coming out, which is still more than a year away because they haven't even started Echo yet.
Yeah.
But I'm even just because of the market and the fact that things died down after initial announcements, they like spike and they come back down. Plus the market, this might be a good time to grab those.
Oh yeah,
I wish they would put that in a small little trade paperback. Though.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much like the Wolverine, you've got.
I don't care about that one.
Well, I'm just saying, it's the artwork sucks. It's not Frank Miller, is it? It was Frank Miller. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It must have been. He must have been drunk that morning. Is what you said.
I'm getting paid how much? Done. Like I said, I really think that they could use this entire storyline idea as the Born Again. They would just have to make some small changes. One is you don't need Karen Page, and to an extent, you don't need Foggy. You could have any lawyer. You could have She-Hulk represent them.
Yeah, Foggy was very ancillary in this, and his, was it Irish girlfriend?
Yeah.
They were kind of just like there, I guess, to let you know they were still alive. But
yeah, and if he makes that much money, seriously, walking through Rockefeller Center carrying all those packages, one of them being a bowling ball, really, I think he would have that delivered.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm so glad that we decided to buy the heaviest present I possibly could for somebody and carry it with me as we're walking through town.
Right, nonchalantly.
No, but that was something I wanted to talk about. You saw how the New Yorkers just apathetically walked past everything.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the yep. That's why I moved.
That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is.
Oh, well, it was back when I was there. Maybe since I've left, they care. Doubt it.
Well, yeah.
But they don't need to have Karen Page. I've heard that the actress that played Karen and the actor that played Foggy have not been approached by Marvel, and they're not in the series. Doesn't mean they might not be signed on and to film some scenes later. We still got plenty of time. We don't know. Or it could be just the standard response by anybody who's in a Marvel project. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. The only person who gives away anything is Tom Holland. I'm good.
And what are they going to do? Fire Spider-Man?
Yeah, especially since he works mainly for Sony.
Yeah.
But they could leave out the part where she gives away his name because, like I said, Kingpin already knows his secret identity. Mm-hmm. Kingpin he was warned by Matt /Daredevil in the Netflix series. I will make sure that Vanessa never gets into the country. She'll be arrested as soon as she steps in foot and blah, 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 blah. You will never touch Karen Page. You'll never go after anybody. So he kind of like secured his own safety and her safety by doing that. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that behind the scenes, without him knowing, Kingpin couldn't do something elaborate to try to destroy Matt's life.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a juicy... The possibilities are so awesomely juicy. I love it. It would make for such a good... I'm excited for the show, man.
Yeah.
Like...
My only question is, what's going to happen with Echo?
I guess they're destined to intertwine because she showed up in a Daredevil book, yeah, and Kingpin and all that.
Well, I think they're in the book. That could be the girlfriend that leaves him, for all I know. Instead of having the Irish girl, maybe it's her. Maybe I don't think Elektra would.
Oh, but that was Foggy.
Well,
the Irish girl.
Yeah, well, that was Matt's girlfriend,
Oh, it was.
and she's the one that sent the cassette saying, "I want to break up with you. Do me a favor and don't call." Then
Oh,
she went to Foggy instead. She's got a thing for lawyers, man. She's got a thing for lawyers, employed lawyers. Ones that
yes
are unemployed, not sorry, ain't got no time for you.
yeah. Matt Murdock was employed for about 1.5 pages in this story.
Yeah, like oh, here come the offers. Oh, wait, what? Evicted? No, shutting off the power, shutting off the cable, shutting off the phone bill.
Right. I really liked the part where the I forget his name, but the reporter.
Ben Urich,
Yeah, like
who's dead in Daredevil series. That's the reporter that Kingpin kills with his bare hands after going to his mother.
oh,
Yeah.
huh. I didn't make the connection. All right, so cool. There was a like you were talking about earlier when you know Kingpin is always leaving messages for him everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the one time where that like super buff manly nurse called his phone with the
Bertha.
yeah
Just call her
with the phone of the doctor's office where the guy was recovering after
Yeah.
being beaten the shit up out of by her in the first place, and she was like, "I want you to listen," and like.
Yeah, my employer would like you to hear this.
And she like killed him over the phone, and the way Frank did I guess Frank wrote it, but Mazzucchelli did the art. But the way they did it with the panels and like it got progressively redder and redder, but it was the same art, just closer and closer and redder and redder. I was like, man, this is like motion in comics without the pictures moving, and it was just so awesome and perfect.
And not just that, but everybody in the background with their, I have to rewrite this, and I can't find the copy boy, and this is so important. But
Yeah,
everything that's going on, like they think their world is coming to an end while he's listening to somebody whose world is coming to an end. Like he's like, everything that I thought was important with this newspaper is nothing compared to what's going on the other end of this line.
Yeah, and what could happen to me, I'm sure he's feeling. So that's another example of like Kingpin bringing real terror into the story.
Yeah, and then she kind of like overstepped her bounds and oh yeah, well I'll take care of this. I'm not going to Arizona.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Scottsdale seems kind of nice. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
But all right, maybe back then it wasn't.
But I couldn't believe that she hung Urich's wife.
Right?
I thought when I saw the little, I thought, they got her tied up and gagged in the other room.
She was tied up with a tie on the ceiling fan.
Thank God Urich still used the old-fashioned straight razor instead of the new Bic or Gillette, whatever. Which you can tell by me, I didn't use it all this week.
Yeah.
Yes,
Got a little
we're
close
both
over here.
slovenly bums, aren't we? We can fit in with Matt in the back alley sleeping under.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, he should have paid more attention to the bums that were next to him, because the bum that was next to him was covered himself with newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Newspapers are a great way of insulating yourself because they trap so much air, and air is.
Is that why people genuinely use newspaper?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It creates air pockets, and cold doesn't and heat don't travel through a gaseous state as easily as they travel through a liquid or a solid state.
Sure. Well, the more you know.
The things you learn with Timo Anna.
All right. Well, maybe we should get down to the rating here. How many devil horns would you give this bad boy?
I'm going to give this a solid 9.0.
All right.
Devil horns out of 10.
Wow.
I think this is my first 9.
I think wasn't I feel like Stray Dogs was 9.
Was that a 9 or an 8.5?
I don't know.
This is right up there with Stray Dogs, though. It grabbed me the same
me too.
way.
Yeah.
But to have it actually grab me with people instead of animals,
I'm gonna go.
I'm more of an animal person than a people person.
I'm gonna go 9 as well. I really love the feeling I had when I was reading all of it. It was just awesome. Mm-hmm. It was an awesome ride. Now that we finished this week's it's time to choose or reveal next week's books.
We're doing a reveal?
Yes. Again, this was chosen from our Patreon, where you can join and become a Cocoa Nut family member and
I like
suggest and vote on what you want us to read for the upcoming podcast. And you'll also get the podcast a day early and a bunch of other stuff. You probably heard it before, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Behind the scenes, watch along videos. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, that's a new thing I should say. Watch along videos are going to be exclusively on Patreon now and no longer on YouTube. So that's something if you want to take advantage of that.
Yep. Well, we're not doing reaction videos anymore.
I mean, technically they're reaction videos. They're just long-form reaction videos that are fully reacting on Patreon.
With all the ifs, ands, buts, and cocoa nuts.
So, we are going to be reading Silver Surfer Requiem from 2007, and this is from Stinker Buns' suggestion. And it's going to focus on Silver Surfer, and supporting characters are the Fantastic Four.
2007, I think Thing was back in the Fantastic Four. This is past the arc where She-Hulk was in it, I think.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's written by J. Michael Straczynski. I don't think I've read anything he's written, but I know he's a big name in the game.
That doesn't sound familiar. Name doesn't sound familiar to me at all, but I'm not a name person. We know that. I can't remember my own name half mornings.
True. Yeah. So I'm excited. I've never read any Silver Surfer. This is going to be cool.
I honestly, other than when he has appeared in Fantastic Four books, I've never read any Silver Surfer books either.
He's like, Silver Surfer for me is like a corner of the MCU that I've never really, I mean, let's be honest, I've not explored a lot of corners, but he's like the Buffalo Bills for me. I don't ever think about the Buffalo Bills. I don't ever think of Silver Surfer. He's way over there in the galaxy for me. So yeah. I'm excited to tackle a story by him.
I never got into the celestial aspect of Marvel. You know, the Eternals, the Celestials. It never
Nova,
Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova. Nope, never read Nova. I was always into if they're not on Earth, I'm not interested. You know, so I would read them when they came to Earth and they appeared in somebody else's comic book, obviously. But
yeah, I'm excited. Boom,
cool. All right, so this is a 4-issue, and I got to make sure I do my homework, otherwise I get in trouble with the teacher.
Yeah, I got a ruler, and I'm going to slap you. No, I won't do that because you like that.
Damn.
Sorry, sucker.
No, I don't like that at all.
Dink. Dink. All right, let's wrap it up before we get into trouble, huh?
Too late.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
I want to thank you for joining us, family, and until we see you guys in the next podcast or video, mahalo.